What's up guys, कैसे हो? ఎలా ఉన్నారు? Hope everyone is doing great. Actually, you know what? I wanted to extend one more day here. I wanted to check out one very important thing, the Red Fort. I came to Delhi like almost 6 or 7 times, but it's always been a layover for me. I just pass through the city. If I'm going to Ladakh or coming back from Ladakh, we always stay somewhere here in the Aero City. We never get to explore. We never spend time in Delhi. But Delhi is such an amazing city. It's such a beautiful city. There's a lot of history here. There's a lot of amazing character to the city. I mean, it will take at least 1 week, or maybe if you want to explore like deep, it will take at least a month to explore any city for that matter. I thought today at least I'll extend one more day. My flight, everything is booked. I'll have to cancel that. Cancellation is not there. Apart from that, I'll have to extend the room. That is one more booka. But then I'm alone. I'm solo. If I had one more friend with me, it would be nicer. We both could go and explore Red Fort. If I go alone, it is gonna be kind of, I mean, I don't like it. So what I've decided is, let's go back home. Almost done packing. I just need to put my last moment stuff, chargers, watch and some electronics, and we are good to go. Let me take a shower and come. I was definitely disappointed that I'm not seeing Red Fort and leaving Delhi, but then I was generally checking how far is it from here, and I realized that it is closed on Mondays. Today is a Monday, so good thing I did not cancel my flight and I did not do any hotel bookings. Let's get out now. Waiting for my cab and I can feel the heat here, dude. It is 34 degrees, feels like close to 38 degrees. Okay, finally done with the check-in, done with the security check and all that. And when people told me that I have to go to the airport at least 3 hours before, I did not understand. But when I came, I saw the situation. It was horrible. 3 hours, man. It is better if you come at least 3.5 hours before. So much of beat, huge lines. And as all that is done, having a quick lunch here at Burger King. Boarding will start in 1 hour. चलो touchdown in हमारा हैदराबाद, हमारा घर. Alright, that was such an amazing, surprising, quick little trip. The first thing as soon as I came, what do? You know, seriously, this has become my everyday task. Once a day, literally 3 or 4 times per day, I'm going and checking the status of my Apple order. Seriously, dude, who is gonna wait for almost more 10 days, dude? Still shows October 22nd to 28th. It can come anytime in between these dates. At least you say guaranteed by 28th I'll be fine. Please change. Please dates change. Nahi. Absolutely no change yet. Also now, the latest trend in investments is cryptocurrency, right? I don't know how many of you are doing it. I'm doing it. But like I always say, a little bit, a tiny portion of your investment, it's good if you can invest it into crypto. There is a possibility crypto can be mainstream someday. I don't want to miss out on that. Anyways, now the more interesting thing about cryptocurrency is there is this company called Vault. Vault is an earn, borrow and trade platform. So what is new about it? Beauty of this app is that you get to earn interest. Like you get interest on the money you deposit in your bank. Same way when you invest into crypto, you can earn interest on the crypto, dude. And the fixed deposit rates are also really good. You get up to 6.7% on BTC and 12.68% on stable coins. Way higher than your bank returns. It is definitely highest among all the platforms out there. And the interest is paid in the native token itself. For example, if you're making a fixed deposit in Bitcoin, you will be earning interest in Bitcoin itself. Also, as we know, there are 3 ways of earning more Bitcoins. One, either you buy more, either you trade and make more Bitcoins, or simply make a SIP with Vault and earn interest. Vault is insured with BitGo, so your funds are 100% safe. Do check out the link in the description, and when you sign up with my code, you get up to 40% rebate. So this is becoming kind of mainstream slowly. Like you're getting interest in cryptocurrency. Something to think about. Also, the other day I visited the Honda Big Wing, and actually my friend there, he wanted me to test ride the CB650R. Oh yes, finally I got the name right. It's a naked street bike. I've taken the test ride that day, but then I thought I'll dedicate a separate vlog for it. So here is my first impressions of the bike. We are here to test ride the CB650R. That is this one. You remember I've done a test ride of the CB300. That was like almost a couple of years back. So I am pretty excited to ride this bike. Okay, as you can see today, let's test ride the cute, sweet, the agile looking Honda CB650R. Sriman, you're having multivitamins and all that. Make sure you don't forget. Why is your memory not improving? First, let's see how this stands. Yeah, pretty light, no doubt about that. After riding 1250s and 1000cc bikes, this is definitely much lighter than that. And it seems this is a direct competition to the Trident, the Triumph Trident. Okay, let's switch it on. That's how the display is. Pretty visible in this kind of sunlight as well. And definitely night mode should be visible. I'll not be going for a long distance because it is currently literally under reserve. Let's start it up. Whoa, this is so freaking smooth, dude. Hear that? Beautiful inline sound. Let's go for a spin. You know what, after the Benelli 600i, I'm riding an inline 4 after literally ages. Very smooth and amazing balance, like crazy good balance. Trust me, honestly, I'm telling you, it doesn't feel like this bike has an engine. It's like an electric bike. It's so smooth, so silent. Oh, brakes are good. Right now, third gear, 18 kilometers per hour. Engine is so freaking tuned, so freaking efficient. I'm literally in third gear, 10 kilometers per hour, and it's still shit, man. This is outstanding. This is something that I never experienced in other bikes. Was I in third gear for sure? And very easy to maneuver in the traffic. Perfect situation right now. Wanted, I came here to feel the heat and all that. Inline 4 so I'm expecting a lot of heat to be generated. Seat height is pretty good, flat footing both sides, and I can even stand. Definitely need to get used to the clutch because yeah, I'm coming from a different bikes. Alright, best thing I like of the bike is, first thing, the way it balances itself. As you can see, I'm able to maneuver it easily inside the traffic. It doesn't feel like a 600cc bike at all. It's so agile, dude. I'm in love with it already. And in bumper to bumper situations like this, you just need to leave the clutch a little bit and it moves. You see that? So you can literally ride it with one hand like this. Don't do that. And it's a rev happy bike. It wants to rev. Front brake is excellent. Rear brake is a little bit spongy. And I'm really amazed with this one thing here. See, now I'm in fourth gear, 20 kilometers per hour. It doesn't freaking knock at all. Like, look at this, fourth gear. Unimaginable. This is what it is. Honda engine is next level. Let's try fifth gear. Oh, sixth gear says me. So now you gotta be kidding me, dude. Sixth gear, 20 kilometers per hour, and it still pulls. I mean, there is not much torque, but you know what I'm saying, right? It's not knocking at all. Is there some magical solution or something they use in this? How come it is not knocking, dude? This is sixth gear. And if you guys wanted to get a bike for the city, and if you have the budget, I would say definitely get it. Aram se you can ride it in the city. If you don't rev it much, it feels like literally a 200cc bike. If you just want to cruise aram se like this, just put it in the second gear and keep moving. And like you've seen, it is super agile. You don't feel like the bike is gonna fall and all that, even at slow moving speeds. Position is very comfortable. Seat is, as always, Honda quality, spongy, which is very comfortable, what I mean. And oh yes, we are getting stares from people, dude. That means definitely bike is attractive. Obviously it should be. It is a 600cc 4 inline 4 and it is making a very good sound. I want to pull it a little bit. So what I observed is the way it is tuned, when you throttle it suddenly, so when you throttle it like this suddenly, it is not going to do a wheelie and all that. The way it is tuned, it gives the power smoothly. It's very progressive. Nice. You get very confidence while leaning this bike. Nice sound, dude. Very good power. Okay, I'm sold. Like, if I really wanted to get a 600cc bike right now, and if I have the budget, I think I'll go for this. Okay, you want me to be brutally honest? If you ask me Triumph Trident versus the Triumph Trident versus this one, my pick would be this one. One main reason is definitely because we have a Triumph already, the Street Twin, and nothing can come close to a classic, a Triumph classic always. But I think street naked and all that, Honda is killing it. Very confidence inspiring bike, dude. But it doesn't matter what bike you have. If it's a CBR Fireblade, I'm pretty sure that one also has its sister's horn, the Honda Activa horn. Kick, kick, kick. I just keep making fun, but I understand it's a norm. I have no clue where am I right now. So the engine power, it builds up progressively. Mapino nana. Yeah, a typical inline 4 character. Like when you rev it, immediately it doesn't have that low end torque, but when it goes to higher revs, like after I think 3 to 4,000 RPM, yes, after 4,000 RPM actually, it is shouting, it is breathing, it wants to keep pushing. Suspension is focused towards the street, definitely. It is a little bit sturdy. Now don't ask me if you can tour on this bike. You can tour on any bike, every bike review I tell you this. Because whenever I post a video about any bike, people will first ask me, can I take this bike and go to Ladakh? You can take any bike and go anywhere. It's all about the will. You can even take a cycle and go. The only thing you have to be concerned about is luggage and all that, how comfortable it is. Definitely some bikes are made for traveling. For example, the GS or the Tiger and all these adventure touring bikes are specifically meant to munch miles. These are made specifically for the city. That bikes you can't ride here comfortably. You can, but you know what I mean, right? Now specs and all that, please go on to the website and check it out. Google pe sab kuch mil jayega. I don't want to talk about all that. I just want to talk about how I feel on this bike. Right now I feel very confident. I don't know why is it not spoken much about this bike. Why is not there much in the news? Or maybe I am not following the news properly, but actually it is a good bike, dude. I would rate this bike, Sriman Kotaro rating, at least 8.5 out of 10. I really like the sound, dude. I'm not sure if you guys are able to hear it because of my helmet being closed and all that, but it is really sweet. Let's go back. Oh yes, around 6,000 RPM. Trust me, I said 5,000, right? I think around 6,000 RPM is the sweet spot. That's where you get the highest torque. So because I'm used to riding a adventure tourer, I feel that it is a little bit inclined for me. I'm not used to this kind of a handlebar. It's a street bike, so I can feel a lot of stress being inclined on the handle. My weight is going on the handle. That's because I ride the most comfortable bike on this planet, the GS. The seat is little bit slightly inclined towards the front, so I need to keep pushing back a little bit. Why am I in second gear? I can be freaking in 6th gear. Seriously, this is too much. 6th gear, 20 kilometers per hour. It still moves without any problem. Absolutely no problem. Like literally 20 kilometers per hour. How? I want to ask this question to Honda. What an engine, dude. Okay, we have spoken a lot of positives. Only positives abhi tak. That is because actually I did not find any negative. Let me check. Why can't we find negative? We can definitely find negative. I mean, I wouldn't consider it a negative, but for me, I'm always thinking this is the horn, because most of the bikes, they have their horn placement here, but it's ka thoda upar hai. So actually I thought horn was not working when I didn't look here, and when I was trying to honk, horn is not working. I wanted to show the Honda Activa horn on this as well. But then I realized later that the horn is upar. And it's in a weird position, not ergonomically fine for my finger. I have to stretch out a little bit piche like this and then honk.
Heat, I couldn't feel. That's one more amazing thing. See, once again, I'm talking a positive about it. What to do here? It is like that. Yeah, there is no, I mean, if you put your hand on the engine, obviously there's gonna be heat, but otherwise, I don't feel like it's getting really hot. What else? Yeah, lights, I'm pretty sure they'll be very dim because it's an LED light. अरे negative एक तो भी बोलना पड़ेगा. I want to say some negative about this. It's not like I want to say, but I believe in that. You know, everything on this planet will have positives and negatives. How come there will be something without a negative? Even in God's creation, that is human beings, we are full of negative. These are also good, wide enough. Brakes are excellent. Yeah, rear brake I can complain a little bit. It's definitely spongy, not like I would like it. If you rev it, it doesn't give you that kick, you know. You see, I'll do full throttle right now. It's in 5th gear, okay, sorry. I'll put it in maybe 3rd gear and try to pull it immediately with full throttle. But you know, that's you see that? It didn't pull once again. Full throttle, it doesn't pull. Full throttle, it doesn't pull. But that is a typical character of a inline 4 engine. So I can't complain much about that. That's how the character is, and that is one of the main reasons I wouldn't like a inline 4. And that is definitely a negative for me from my perspective, because I like the street wind type of pull, the torque which comes like crazy at 2500 RPM itself. I mean, it's like 89, 85 Nm torque, something like that. And that's like proper usable torque in the city. Once you pull, you need to hold on to the handle tightly. Otherwise, it's going to be crazy. Gear shifts are very smooth. That's one more thing I observed. That's typical Honda signature. Their gear shifts, their engine, everything is very smooth and silent. Chalo, I'm back at the showroom. Next time you guys tell me if I'll have to test ride the, this is the 500X, the Honda 500X that you can see here. This one. It's basically an adventure tourer. How much mileage does it give?
22 to 25.
20 to 25.
Yeah.
18 to 20 is practical in the city.
Yeah.
186 kilos, wet. Very lightweight for an inline 4. This is an inline 4, right?
Inline 4.
Good. What is the budget for this? 9.95.
Yeah.
So if I have that budget and if I have to go for a 650cc, 650, then I'll go for this. I've always been saying 600cc. Okay, this is good. I think I want to test ride this as well. Next time I'll come and do it. And that is the Monster, the Africa Twin, the new version, 2021 version. It's got cornering lights and all that. But next I'll do this because I know a lot of people might be interested in this touring bike.
You know what? All these are just reviews. These are all my perspectives. So in case people watch these videos and decide to buy a bike just on my review, don't do that. Absolutely never do that. Not just my review. Don't just see any reviews on the internet of any YouTuber or any motovlogger, and just based on that, don't shell out your hard-earned money like that. I suggest aram se jaake take a proper test ride, feel the bike properly, take multiple test rides before shelling out your hard-earned money. Anyways, still, I hope you guys have enjoyed this vlog. Before going, do not forget to check the link in the description for Vault, especially if you're investing into cryptocurrency and you're expecting some interest on that. Oh yes, अब आपका crypto interest भी देगा. So I'll see you guys in the next vlog. Take care. Tata.